Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we are back with another LFA predictions video on the channel. Today giving my predictions for LFA 196, Tanner versus Urena. You know, I've been enjoying making these prediction videos for LFA because it's got me watching the cards, and you know what, they're quite fun. I love watching them, so I'm looking forward to this one this weekend. But before we jump into my picks, make sure if you're not already and you're enjoying this content, you're going down below and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's much appreciated. So on this card we have 14 fights, but 3 of them are amateur fights, I think, so I won't be covering them. So we start things off with Koren versus Peter Lucitt. Now, Koren, 4-0, looks a very good prospect to be fair. My computer's been slow, but yeah, the Redhead is his nickname. He looks pretty good, undefeated. I mean, his last win in the LFA was a KO win. Before that, 3 unanimous decisions. His opponent, Lucitt, is 1-0, so not quite as many fights, but still undefeated to be fair. Won a split decision fight in some random promotion. I don't even know that one. But yeah, he doesn't look too bad. His amateur record, not too bad. So both of these guys look alright, but I will be going to Koren. I mean, 4-0. He's proved himself. He looks pretty good. And I reckon he's going to get the decision here. Now, moving up the card too. Thomas Keenan versus Chaz Polson. Now, Thomas Keenan, 0-0. I mean, it's his first professional fight, but amateur record looks pretty good. I mean, he's got all finishes, and then he's only lost to Drakar Closer, who we know is pretty decent because he's in the UFC. But since then, he's had a grappling match, but that's it. So, his amateur record, all right. I mean, Chaz Polson on the event. I love the cowboy hat he's got on his profile picture here. You must see a cowboy. He's 1-1 professionally. He won his first fight by rear naked choke, then lost the rear naked choke in his next fight. So, not much to go off there, but both these guys, not much experience really, but I think I am going to lean towards Keenan winning this fight. You know, we've not seen him fight professionally. I feel like he's going to come in here and get the win, and I think he's going to get the submission in round number 2. Now, moving up the card too. Eric Fimbres versus Adland Benson. Now, Eric Fimbres, 3-0. Undefeated. His opponent is 4-3, so very contrasting records. I mean, Eric Fimbres, 3-0. I mean, all of his wins, 2 wins by KO, 1 win by decision. He looks very good, and that's why I'll be picking him to win this fight. You know, I just don't think Adland Benson is that great, really. I mean, 4-3. I mean, he's had a couple wins. He is coming off a loss as well to Wes Schultz by KO. So I feel like it's going to be an easy win this for Fimbres, and he's going to get the KO in round number 1. Now, moving up the card too. Chance Ikei, I don't know how you say that last name, versus Jacob Romero. Now, Ikei, 3-0, looks very good. I mean, on his he's got some good wins, you know, already. I mean, 3 wins, 2 by decision, 1 by KO. He also beat Shad Walters on his amateur career as well, who's quite a good fighter. So looks pretty good prospect as Ikei. Jacob Romero on the advance, 3-4 record. I mean, he's got a losing record really. 3 losses by decision. I mean, he's on a 2-fight winning streak, both by KO, but he had lost 3 before that. So I feel like it's an easy pick here. I will be going Chance Ikei to get the job done, and I reckon he's going to win by decision. Now, moving up the card too. We're on the main card already. Damn, this was fast. We've got Leonardo Morales versus Ayla Bakita Uulu. God knows how you say that name, but it's one of these Kyrgyzstan Uulu guys, and they're always quite good. But Leonardo Morales, 14-9. We know him from the UFC. I mean, he went 0-2, losing to Yeta Rodriguez and Jose Alberto Quinones. But then he came out of there, won a few fights, lost a few fights. He's been around the place. Has Morales. He is coming off a win in some random promotion, Combat Global, but he has made his way to LFA now. Not the best record really. I mean, his opponent, Baktia Uulu, 9-2, looks pretty good. On a 2-fight winning streak as well. He's had a KO in the LFA before. Lost coming to Cal Machado by rear naked choke, but before that he was on a 5-fight winning streak. So Uulu looks a pretty good fighter, and I think he's going to win this one. You know, I just don't think Morales is very good really, so I think Uulu is going to get the job done, and I think he's going to get the decision. Now, moving up the card too. Jacoby Jones versus Gabriel Brown. Now, I thought it's like it's Gabriel. I don't know how you say that, but it's spelled Gabriel. So 4-1 for Brown here on a 3-fight winning streak as well. 2 wins by heel hook. So he's got 1 win by arm triangle choke as well. So he's quite good on the ground. He's good some submissions. Jacoby Jones on the other hand, 6-3. I mean, he was in the Contender Series at one point, and he lost to Daniel James Allen, who I don't actually think we've seen fight yet, but yeah, he lost in 2023. But then he came back to LFA and defended his belt and lost that as well. So he's not had a good few fights recently, but I do think he is going to be better than Gabriel Brown this fight. I mean, he's been there, you had the belt at one point, so I feel like Jacoby Jones is going to get this done, and I feel like he's going to get the submission in round number 2. Now, moving up the card to Alec Lorenz versus Ryan Parker. Now, Alec Lorenz looks a very good prospect here, 5-1, 27 years of age. I think he might train with like Jared Cannonier or something like that. He trains one of like the light heavyweights or middleweights, I'm not really sure. But I mean, all of his wins coming by KO as well. One lost to KO, but he's on a 4-fight winning streak. I mean, he looks like a dangerous man here. He looks pretty good. His opponent, Ryan Parker, feels like this is a layup for him because Parker is 6-6 professionally. Coming off a loss as well by KO. I mean, he never really gets a win streak together. He loses a couple, wins a couple. He lost to Andre Petrosky as well at some point. So I feel like this is a pretty easy win for Alec Lorenz here. I feel like it's a layup for him. So I feel Lorenz is going to get the KO in round number 1. Now, moving up the card to Christian Natividad versus Devin Jackson. Now, the Natividad, 5-0. Looks a very good fighter here. I mean, what can I say? He's on a 5-fight winning streak, obviously. 2 wins by KO in round number 1, and then 3 decisions. So, I mean, he looks like a well-rounded fighter, really. Also undefeated amateur career as well. So, not many negative points about Natividad there. Devin Jackson, on the other hand, is on a 2-fight losing streak to Jack Duffy and Colton Loud. Did win 3 fights in a row by finish, but since then, he hasn't looked that great in these other promotions. So, I do think that Natividad, 5-0, what can I say about it? He looks pretty good. So I think Natividad is going to get this job done, and I think he's going to win decision. Now, moving up the card to Flavio de Queiroz. Flavio de Queiroz versus Furkatbek Yokubov. Bloody hell, there's some hard names to say. But de Queiroz, 14-4 from Brazil. His picture on Topology is cool. He's got some weird like sci-fi. Probably I'm going to put it on the screen there, but he's got some weird sci-fi thing going on. Don't know what's happening there, but he looks like a good fighter. You know, 2 wins by KO coming into this fight. His last loss was to his last 2 losses have been to like some good opponents, Al Hassov and Maxim, who obviously know is in the UFC. So I mean, he looks pretty good. I mean, he's got a lot of finishes by KO, 9 wins by KO in total. I mean, his opponent Furkatbek Yokubov, 14-4, both the exact same records, to be fair. Has got a few losses by KO, to be fair, but he's on a 3-fight winning streak, all by knockouts. Oh no, it's all by finishes. So I feel like this is one of the fights that I'm looking forward to most on this card. It should be pretty fun, but I am swaying towards Flavio de Queiroz to get this job done. I mean, he looks pretty good. I love the little like thing he's got over his eye. I don't know why. It just makes him seem pretty cool. So I think Queiroz is going to get this job done, and I think it's going to be a KO in round number 1. Now, moving up the card to the co-main, Kamuela Kirk versus Ednilson Santos. Now, Kamuela Kirk obviously was in the UFC recently. Yeah, he went 1-2 in the UFC. Won his first fight, then lost twice to Damon Jackson and Esteban Ribovic. And now he's back. It's his first fight since leaving the UFC. It's against Ednilson Santos. But I do think that Kamuela Kirk is a decent fighter, to be fair. He's got a lot of wins by submission. And he's got a few KOs in there as well. So he's quite dangerous, to be fair. His opponent, Ednilson Santos, 12-6 overall. It's not the greatest record. He's coming off a decision loss, but he's 2-3 in his last 5 fights. But before that, he's had a few good wins and stuff in his career, but also he's had quite a few losses. So I feel like I'm going to go Kamuela Kirk here. I mean, he was UFC level at one point. He's come back to LFA. I feel like he's going to get the job done here, and I think he's going to get the decision. Now, moving up to the main event, Kasey Tanner versus Micaias Urena. Now, Kasey Tanner, 7-1 in total on his record. I mean, he did lose on the Contender Series. His only loss in his career was to G Matsumoto, but Matsumoto is undefeated, so what can you say, really? 2 good prospects fighting each other. Now he came back into the LFA, got a rear naked choke in round number 1, so he's proved he is still good at this level. And Micaias Urena, on the other hand, 9-2, from the Dominican Republic, I think. Yeah, it is. He looks pretty decent as well. I mean, he's on like a 5-fight or 6-fight winning streak at the minute. Last loss was in 2020 when he lost the belt in some weird promotion. But both these guys look pretty good record. But I am going to be going with Kasey Tanner to get this job done. I mean, he's proved he's pretty good at LFA. I mean, not quite UFC level on the Contender Series, but I feel like Kasey Tanner is going to get this job done, and he gets the KO in round number 3. So there are my picks for LFA 196. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my picks. And that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, maybe leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.